This is a game that I've backed that was successfully kickstarted a while ago. And from what I can tell, development keeps getting paused because the dev keeps having to get a job. Also, it was capturing perfectly and then stopped capturing. Interesting. I guess we hit the end of the image. Sure. Anyway, so this is the backer beta. I don't know how different from the or the backer alpha, I guess. I don't know how different this is from the demo that is available, but there is a demo available for this game currently. I, however, have the full game, so like I said, I don't know how different those two are. But this is a game that's trying to take Dwarf Fortress, but 2D Dwarf Fortress, like flat fortress, and make a kind of RimWorld-inspired city builder based on kind of that structure. Anyway, it was a neat idea, so I figured it's something that I would try. I haven't looked at this game since the first alpha that was released to backers about a year ago, and I never made a video out of it or anything. But I actually thought this game was dead in the water for a good while because there was no updates for about 6 months. And then the dev recently announced that they have a publisher and there's a demo out, and you know, it's coming along. So trying another, you know, very unfinished game, or rather, even more unfinished game. Welcome to the world of King Under the Mountain. This is an early alpha version of the game with many more features and gameplay elements still to be implemented. Your intrepid band of dwarven settlers have chosen this area to found a new colony for their kingdom, provide food, shelter, and prosperity for them, and who knows, maybe one day this will be the capital of a kingdom of its own. Start the game by selecting a location on the map and clicking begin. So, I mean, I actually really like the way this little river generated. It's a pretty looking river. So once again, this is King Under the Mountain. There's 2 games on Steam called King Under the Mountain. I actually like how big this map is. Like, it's deceivingly large. There's also a little cave here. Like, it is actually quite large. All right, well, let's begin. So this is King Under the Mountain. We got our little dwarves. They are noticeable as dwarves. No, they already seem to be getting 2 things. We have a steel cauldron, a bucket, 12 steel plates, some sandstone blocks. All right. Click tutorial to begin a guided playthrough of the basics. Hints only. Skip the tutorial. Chat, what do you guys want? Should we do the full tutorial or should we just do hints only? What do you think? Because I'm sure we can probably fumble thumbs our way through it, but what do you think? Tutorial, hints only, or disable all hints. Although I'm not giving you that option. Tutorial or hints only. This already looks way nicer than the original alpha did. Tutorial? I'm the player. Thanks, but I'm asking you. Tutorial? Okay. You can use the WASD buttons to move around. Thanks, game. Scrolling the mouse wheel or Q and E keys to move the to zoom the camera in and out. Cool. Thank you. Upper right section of the screen is the speed. Okay. This really is a tutorial. Your progress is saved automatically at midnight, and whenever you exit the game, you can quick save by pressing F5. Your settlers have 3 basic needs to fulfill: food, drink, and somewhere to sleep. Although they will complain about it for now, they can drink from the nearby river and sleep on the ground. What they can't do is magic up some food. What they can't do is magic up some food from nowhere. That's a funny way to word that. At least not without a mage around. So we'll focus on food to begin with. The first thing that you should do each spring is ensure that you have enough crops to begin planting. Okay, so I need 70 farm plot tiles and 0 out of 4 farm plot plots. So I need 4 total and 70 total. All right, so how would I do that? Good rule of thumb is to ensure that you have 10 tiles of crops being sown for each settler in your population. That's big. That's big. All right, well. Crafting. Whoa! Very unfinished UI. I see. Orders. Chop, harvest, clear, build. I like this. Farm plot. I mean, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say. Ah, okay. Well, I was hoping you wouldn't, like, you know, just clue those together. But zones, farm plot. Let's do 10 by 5. 10 by 5. And 10 by 5. And then it's a small one along the bottom. Those will be my farms. With nothing else to do, your settlers will start preparing these farm plots by tilling the earth and ready for seeds to be sown, but that doesn't require any special tools or knowledge, so everyone should get involved. All right, let's see what happens. This prepares the farm plot to be sown, but you need to select the crop on which farm plot, and the farmer will then plant the relevant seeds your settlers have brought. A selection of different seeds. You can click on the resources in the upper right to get a breakdown of your settlement. For the seeds to actually be available to your farmers, they need to be in a stockpile compared to being held in a dwarf's inventory. Okay, click zones and stockpiles and seeds, and you can, sure. Oh, also there's an add remove tiles button. That's neat. I like that. Whoa! Apparently hitting escape just boots you out to the main menu. Orders. Zones. Stockpiles. Seeds. I don't know if I should be storing these indoors or not. I think we're going to make this into our home, personally. And then I need a tools tile. Oh, I see, just right click. All right. So now I just need to wait for them to till the soil, I suppose. Kinda neat so far. I like how big the farm plots need to be. That means that you're going to be farming large chunks of the map. I like how they clear the bushes. I wonder if I can plant them underground, actually. What seeds do we have? Oh, wow. Hemp seed, barley, tomato, potato, carrot, hops, corn seed, and wheat seed. It's a lot of variety. No mushrooms, though. Very much lacking in the mushrooms. Looks like a giving the finger icon. You know, from a distance, if you squint at it, yeah, it kind of does look like the shovel's giving you the finger. It kind of looks like a hand just giving you a middle finger. That's funny. Let's make you into carrot. Let's make you into potato. And let's make you into the tomato. And then we'll make this one into wheat. 2 of 3 farmers assigned. They are spores, not seeds? No, I mean, you can also have spawn, which is the bottom half of a mushroom cut off, and then you plant that, and then it, like, grows on its own. As somebody who's tried to propagate mushrooms before from mushroom growing kits, you certainly can grow mushrooms by literally just planting a mushroom. Your farmers will now get to work sowing seeds. You have selected to these farm plots. Sowing seeds does not require any special tools, but you might want to assign more settlers as farmers. Left click on the settler who is wandering around aimlessly. There's a settler who's wandering around aimlessly? Where? I kind of like that my mouse is a light source. We have to wait for the night to end. Yes, but that's all I have to say, B-Lug. Also, I'm curious, is anybody here back to this? Like, has anybody else played this game? Or is anybody here even aware of its existence? I'm really curious to know what, like a fortress ends up looking like, because, like, I think lighting is, like, a thing in this game. Because, like, look at this. Like, the way the mouse lights up this. It's actually pretty default Unity looking lighting. I don't know if this runs in Unity, but... All right. Clicking on a settler that lets you see their name, their professions, inventory, and happiness. Click on the blank square button on their professions in the third panel. All right, so I need somebody who is wandering around doing seemingly nothing. Farmer. Yeah. I kind of wish I could minimize the tutorial because like it's very big. Your crops will grow eventually. Thank you. Yeah, naturally that's what happens with gardens. They will grow eventually and be harvested by farmers in the autumn. That's neat that they are annual crops rather than seasonal crops. Some crops can be planted again later in the year and survive through the winter, but some do not. Cool. Nice touch. I like it. To get most out of your crops, it is best to produce soup from the vegetables harvested or bread from the grain. Let's get a kitchen to produce soup once your crops are ready. All right. Something that I would like to fiddle about with, though, is I want to just, like, start mining in here and make this into my home, because I like this cave. Also, I assume that this is one of those games where you dig deeper into the mountains to find deeper, more interesting things. I'm just assuming. But yeah, this game does have a demo, so definitely try out the demo if the game looks even remotely interesting to you. Unlike farm plots, kitchens, and most other rooms need furniture to function. Click on furniture when you have placed the kitchen zone. All right, well, zone. What's soup with you? I don't really like the UI, but it just feels... It's like the most unfinished feeling part of the game, I think. Kitchen. Took me a little bit. Found it, though. I quite like how this stuff is... How rooms are placed, though. That part feels good. Furniture. All right, so you need a water barrel. Neat. Okay. You need a kitchen workshop. I'm actually kind of hoping that one day DF gets mechanics a little bit more like this. One cauldron. And 0 of 10 food tiles. What? How do I make food tiles? Oh, designate a food stockpile to store any harvested crops. Oh, okay. Stockpiles. I don't think that necessarily needs to be in the room, though. Food. Yeah, okay, so that goes next door. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it took me a second because I needed to read the last bit. I mean, that would make sense why it would want you to put a food stockpile over here. Speaking of music, did anybody see that Dwarf Fortress project to remaster the original guitar track that Tarn did? Yeah, I mean, like, this game might look a little silly, but, like, one of the things the reason I backed this game, actually, was the way they were doing water simulation and the fact that you will be able to redirect rivers and such. Like, there's actual, like, liquid simulation going on here, which is, like I said, the reason I backed it. Look, they're drinking from the river. Those poor dwarves. We have to get you proper alcohols at some point. But, like, it is actually doing the kind of simulation that's interesting to somebody who plays DF. Or they're trying to, anyway. I need somebody to, bring the cauldron down. Hoping that they're going to do that. Oh, look at all these tools. Shit. Because I do have that steel cauldron. It's right there. Which means you're grabbing that. There it goes. Look at that. Like, out of all of the games like DF that I've seen, this is one of the ones that, from everything I've seen, seems like it is the closest to being able to, like, maybe actually live up to that, potentially. Oh, that's cool. You just brought a bucket, you filled up the little barrel. All right. I guess we just need somebody to make that workshop. I kind of want to see if I can make bedrooms, but orders. Let's see if I can get them mining. I just want to see if that works. Music's nice too. Like I said that already, though. Judging by the green bars, these guys run Windows 7? Wait, what? What green bars? You mean the blue bars? What green bars are you talking about? Oh, you mean those little bars? I mean, I think they're just simple assets. I don't think it's that they run Windows 7. Did Windows 7 have green bars that look like that? I don't remember that. I don't know. I haven't used Windows 7 since Windows 10 came out, so. Although Windows 11 is out now, so. Actually, is anybody here using Windows 11? It's not compatible with my CPU, so. Define using. Do you have it installed? XP used bars made out of little rectangles, and 7 used... Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't remember that. Construction of sandstone kitchen workshop. Looks like they're using this barrel for water now. Question is... wondering if I need a stonemason assigned to do that. I mean, I like how I've already built this inside because I just have this cave here. But they're telling me to do it outside. Could also make it out of wood. Let's try and make one out of wood. See if they construct that. Cancel this. You have rock bread rations? Huh. Well, they're mining, so that part works. Just waiting to see if anybody brings... There might also just be too many jobs for them to do. That is also a very real possibility. I'm just wondering if this game has like some sort of architecture equivalent where you need to have certain jobs assigned for buildings to get constructed. Also, looks like our garden is getting seeded. Oh shit, they finished it. Yeah, I think there's like some sort of job requirement on that. When your crops have been harvested, cooks will bring vegetables to the kitchen workshop before adding them to the cauldron with water and producing soup. Making soup and baking bread means that your food supplies will go much further. The single vegetable will feed a dwarf for a single meal, but 3 vegetables cooked into a soup will provide 12. All right. Eventually, this kitchen will produce a cauldron full of steaming hot soup, and the cooks don't like other dwarves getting in the way of their kitchen. So instead, you need to have the soup brought to a feasting hall. Excellent. For the whole settlement to enjoy. Designate a feasting hall by clicking on the zones, feasting hall, and add a cauldron to it. Note that the feasting hall cauldron won't be placed until the cauldron containing a thick, delicious soup is available. Ah, cool. Again, neat idea. Neat idea. I mean, obviously we need to mine out a feasting hall. Like, I think it would be an utter shame if our dwarves were to put a feasting hall above ground. So let's go maybe down to like here. Oops, that's not the mine button. Orders. Mine. I mean, we don't have soup yet, but we will be obtaining soup. And then we need to make a sawmill.
I am the garbage man! Oh, yeah!
I wonder if I can... Irrigation, extinguish, chop mine, harvest, remove... Build walls. Just make them out of any stone. I just want to make him build a wall. Sawmill tiles. We have to make we have to make a woodcutting bench. Okay, woodcutting bench can go outside. Orders. Whoopsies. But how are we doing today, Ghost? Those things. We're checking out, this is the backer alpha, I guess, for King Under the Mountain. We were playing some Odd Realm, but that current version of the game is a little futzy. So 6 of 6 sawmill tiles. Need to make a mushroom farm. Well, there's mushrooms. Need to make a masonry workshop. And a stone mason bench needs to be constructed, which I'm assuming goes here. Whoa, that's a big thing. Like outside or in the game, Tygo? Hell yeah, Dragon Man. What are you going to do with that faster internet? feel bad that these poor dwarves are sleeping outside. So what do you think, chat? On a scale from 1 to dwarfy, what do you think of what you've seen of this game so far? I think it's about like a 5 out of 10 dwarfy so far. There's potential here. I'm starting to feel better about backing this game on Kickstarter. Not gonna lie, for a bit there I was a little iffy on it. So most items and furniture are produced from wooden planks or stone blocks. It is important to maintain a large supply of these wooden planks. Are produced in a these wooden planks are produced in a sawmill, and stone blocks are crafted by a stone mason. Place one of each in these zones, and the wood cutting and the stone masons with them. Okay, that's all I need to do. Contains dwarfs. Does indeed contain 7 dwarves currently, actually. I think I have 7. I haven't actually counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we do indeed have 7 dwarves currently. Gives you strong nostalgia from your very first embarks? Why? Because it's just like relearning everything again? Orders. Murder the trees. What? Okay, so those I can chop down. These I can't. Oh. Oh, they've all been assigned to be chopped down. I just didn't see the order. Oh, well, that's fine. That freaks me out. If you just hit escape, it takes you to the main menu of the game again, but you can just click continue and it doesn't matter. It's just, I always think I accidentally broke the game. What is this, elf magic? No, the icon's very small, so I did not see. I like the tools. Rolling pin. Tin large hammer. A steel anvil. I feel like I should remove this stockpile and put a tool stockpile underground. Zones. Stockpiles. Tools. Whoop. Bonk. There you go. Much better. Also, build. Furniture, maybe? Lantern. Oh, I can't put them on the walls? That's a pity. I don't know. Oh, they have to be made out of metal. Darn. I don't think I have any metal. A fine 2-level DF fort mode clone? Fort mode clone? What do you mean by fine 2-level? I mean, it's not 2-level. There's only 1 Z level. It's flat Dwarf Fortress. Actually, it was kind of funny. I remember when the Kickstarter was happening for this, someone was just like, I will back this if you add Z levels. Well, I mean, the river is not a 2nd level. It's like you can't like look under water or anything, but I guess if you count the river as a 2nd level. There was a person who commented on the Kickstarter for this game who was just like, I'll play this if you add Z levels. And the developer was like, the point of this game is to make a simpler version of Dwarf Fortress that doesn't have Z levels, which I thought was kind of amazing that immediately people are just like, bad Z levels. People like their Z levels. Oh, this, are you carrying a lantern? Because this dwarf has a light source. Look at that little lantern on his head. That is fucking cute. So they can have like little helmet lanterns? That's awesome. What are you equipping? Look at that. I love that. That's great. That is awesome. Why are you producing pipes? We require more blocks. Oh, I see why they're taking so long. Is because they are moving everything underground from the tools. Stuff that we made. Looks like stuff's getting planted. So things that I like about the game so far. I love the little details on the dwarves themselves. They look cute. I'm also... What is this? Oh, this is just a starting stockpile. So I'm a big fan of the dwarves themselves and the way they look. And I also really like the size of farming needed. Those are my two favorite things so far. Let's just put a material stockpile inside. Although this might have been made a tool stockpile now. Products, maybe. But I don't really want them to put tools there. That's this stockpile. Well, if you refresh, you'll get a notification, Beth. Also, I was supposed to make that feasting zone. So let's do that. Okay, so you can make feasting tables and serving tables. Bread loaves are placed here for serving after being baked in a baker's oven. With a chair in place, your settlers will enjoy their meals at this table. Chairs and cauldrons. We can make a beer tapper and a water barrel. The days are a lot longer. Oh yeah, time's also way slower. We've only been here for 8 days instead of like a season already. We're not doing a long death anytime soon in this one. I'll put it that way. Yeah, this is speeding you up a lot. I kind of love that dwarf with the lamp on its head, though. That's great. Feasting hall? How's that where's the dirty joke in that? I'm sure it's obvious and I'm just dense, but... I think the dwarves just have too much to do, so no one's actually had time to start chopping down trees yet. I kind of just want to dig all the way to the left and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of just want to start digging left. I just see if we bump into anything fun. Because, you know, that's how 2D DF used to work, right? You just dig all the way to the far end and then you find fun. So I'm really curious if I dig all the way to the left, if I'm gonna, like... Yeah, like, am I gonna... Like, I have no idea, Tygo. We should do that for... Like, I'm sure I shouldn't be doing this, but, like, we should do this for science, right? Like, we need to know. What happens if I dig all the way to the left?
The billion.
It's where you conduct experiments to discover science. I mean, things. I mean, if I dig all the way to the left and just find a bunch of demons, I will be very happy. If I dig all the way to the left and find nothing, I will be mildly disappointed, but expect better. Ryan, how are you doing today? How's things? Okay, why have we not chopped down any trees yet? This tree has been watered and is growing slowly. This tree has not been watered, and now this tree has been watered. Plant has been watered and is growing very quickly. Interesting. Well, looks like we are harvesting things. Yeah. No, it definitely did. This covers the basics of knowing King Under the Mountain. For your next challenge, let's set up a functioning metalworks with a forge provided with fuel and refined metal ore. Game, I don't have beds for my dudes yet. Like, I appreciate you getting all excited and all this, but like... Well, okay, so next task is dig all the way to the left. Once we have dug all the way to the left, we can then figure out if... you know, this game's good or not. But so far, so good. This game's got a lot of promise so far. Although I don't like that the food stockpile is just empty. There's also a lot of fishing stuff that you can do. It's interesting that it just automatically maintains materials for you. Like, you don't need to tell it what to do, it just does it. Also, multiple dudes can work at one of these tables, which I think is kind of neat. I'm also wondering if we're going to just get a migrant wave kind of out of nowhere, or... Let's build a room for my seeds. Can you look at a dwarf? Like, look at their minds? I don't want to disappoint you, but I don't think so. I mean, obviously this game has no world gen stuff. I know that this game has like was one of those games that had the pitch of they want to have a server where your destroyed forts can be placed and then you could discover other people's destroyed forts. But I don't know if that's a thing that's even remotely close to finished. Yeah, I think this is all that we get. I mean, you can literally look at them. So, there is that. And they do look different. I don't know if there's any, like, rhyme or reason behind how they look, but... I mean, obviously, like, this game's going to be missing all of the most interesting features from DF, which is the world generation, the history generation, like, all of that stuff. But, like, I don't know. I'm always looking for games to, like, recommend to people to, like, start to learn DF, you know? And in my opinion, that currently... Even the faces are shaded with the light. I mean, it's pretty simple lighting, but yeah, it's effective. Now that you've said that, like, I can't unsee the Windows 7 loading bars. Keeper RL is a very different game, though, right? Because Keeper RL is more akin to Dungeon Keeper than Dwarf Fortress. Like, yeah, you build a base and whatnot, but, like... No? It's not? Because Keeper RL is more akin to Dungeon Keeper than Dwarf Fortress. Like, unless they've changed that game drastically in the time since I last played it. I mean, admittedly, it's been, like, maybe a year or two since I last played Keeper RL, but... God, we actually have a long way to go. These maps are big, yo. But yeah, no, Keeper RL is kind of a very different game. That game's kind of its own thing. Flooring, walls, roofing, doors! Let's make us doors. Really? So I can't make, like, double doors? Well, that's kind of disappointing. Oh, neat. You have to make roofing. That's kind of cool. This view allows you to see which tiles are outside with no roof. Light blue. Okay, so the no roof goes all the way there. That's kind of really cool, actually. Very rimworldy, but... I mean, I guess the part that I'm missing is the part where you said that isn't that just Keeper RL with extra steps? Because no, it's not. I don't know. I always get bothered by that. Isn't that just this game kind of like stating that this game doesn't have a reason to exist? Whereas, like, I don't know. I think that that's a little silly of a point of view to take. I think that every game has a reason to exist. Unless it's like a literal carbon copy clone of another game, which I've played a lot of town builders and I've never played one that is just a carbon copy of another game. Except for maybe No Moria, but even No Moria kind of did things separately. Oh, I didn't realize you were talking about that specific feature. But, I mean, it's not the only one. Isn't there a RimWorld mod that lets you do that? You appreciate even small features. I kind of agree with that, Tilaspra. It's like I'm already noticing little features that this game has that DF doesn't have. Like the feasting hall seems really neat. Like the fact that they're not going to bring the cauldron into the feasting hall until there is a metal cauldron full of soup available. It's like they'll just make a bowl of soup and then they will bring it into the oh, look at this. I have discovered a cavern. Cool. Got native copper. Ooh. Native platinum. Cool. Syrup powder mushroom. All right. So that means I can cancel a bunch of this. As a promise of running on your laptop. I mean, you could probably run Dwarf Fortress on your laptop, to be fair. The only new thing it has is terraforming with water flow, and it was great fun to play. You see, ironically, I think that is, like, not even remotely interesting. Like, I personally feel that Timberborn is incredibly boring. Because everything that Timberborn does, DF does better. So I would rather just play DF. But that's a me problem. That's not necessarily a problem with the game. It's just I'm spoiled with other games that already exist. So to me, Timberborn is actually excessively uninteresting. So I do understand why people like Timberborn, but god damn, I find that game boring and uninteresting. So far, we've found a cavern, which is a very good sign. But I do understand why people like Timberborn. Like I said, it's more of a me problem. This is hematite all the way around the edge. We also have coal. God, this is a mineral-rich area. It's limestone. There's also this big cave thing up here. I'm really hoping I hit some sort of magma sea. I really, really hope we do. Something that this game seems to be lacking in so far, though, is something this game seriously seems to be lacking in so far is creatures running around. But some jitters in the screen movement. Yeah, no, I mean, this is also like alpha 0.07, so I don't know. I'm kind of giving it a free pass when it comes to stutters. Maybe I shouldn't, but Game very unfinished, okay? So you don't expect fun? I'm still digging to the left. I want to see what we hit. Like, I mean, we've already hit this. So I want to know what else there is. I'm just kind of curious about what's in the mountains. I don't really expect us to end by getting gored into tiny little pieces. But, you know, if we do, I won't complain. I mean, it's also, you know, a very unfinished game. So I'm not gonna fault it for anything. I think that we're going to put our bedrooms along here. I think that's what we'll do. So I'm just going to wait for him to finish digging all the way to the left. Poor guy's exhausted. All right, let's see what else we can do here. Grist mill. Brewery. Now, that's important. It's not a dwarfy game without a brewery. What do we have? Water barrel. A malting station. Mash tun. Brew kettle. And a fermentation tank. Ooh. Using hops and worts from the mash tun. Fun. Also, these are big. Hold on. I think Timberborn will be a really cool game. I just personally find the current iteration of it very, very dull. Like, trust me, I'm not condemning Timberborn by any stretch. I just feel that the current iteration of that game is very uninteresting. I don't know if we have the materials to make these, but yeah, we need steel, a lot of steel plates for these. Pine planks. I like how big some things in this game are. Makes things feel big and cool and lived in. We're getting there. Whoa. Game did a big flicker. Doesn't like tabbing out. Noted. I'm actually kind of curious about something. Hold on. Options. What? Gross. Okay, so we are running in borderless. I might just run in windowed. But yeah, no, I think like there are two games right now that I think will be incredible at some point, but currently I think both of them are incredibly dull. And that is Going Medieval and Timberborn. I think both of those games have a ton of potential, but currently neither of them interest me at all, because I can just play those games, but better iterations of those games. I'm just kind of hoping we hit lava. I'm not expecting to, though. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about DF, though, is like, well, it's not that DF doesn't have things to do. It's those games don't... More modern games like Timberborn, the problem that they suffer from, for me, is if you don't have, like, they just don't have enough mechanics, right? Like, you can build every building, and then it's just like, well, what can you do now? I guess you can make a big water reservoir. If that mechanic is interesting to you, by all means, go and play it. That's not the problem with Timberborn for me. The problem with me for Timberborn is that's all that you can do. Is you can build bigger city and you can build big water reservoirs and weird water contraptions. That's cool. But at that point, I'd rather just go do that in Dwarf. And Neil, thank you very much for the 52nd month. Welcome back for a 52nd month. On a 52nd month streak. That's a lot of months, man. And also thanks for the host. Cheers. Oh, absolutely. Which is why I just play games that are interesting, right? Like, why get excited for games that are like new and that haven't had the chance to really become anything when there are like Keeper RL is a perfectly good game that was mentioned earlier. It's like that's a game that's been in development for a while, has a shit ton of content. You could sit down and put hundreds of hours into Keeper RL and not run out of stuff to do, and you can support that game's development and promote it and tell your friends about it. Or you could play a game like Going Medieval, which is like, well, will it make it that far? I mean, they've sold a lot of copies, so they'll probably be fine, but like games get shut down all the time. Like Dwarfheim is a little Dwarf-based RTS, literally just got shut down and is not going to continue development because they didn't make enough money. And it's like, well, that sucks, but I'm also not super surprised. So I don't know. It's video game development is a tough beast, and unfortunately a lot of things don't survive, even if they maybe should. Making bedrooms. You know, and it's and for me as a content creator, I kind of have to like decide. It's like, well, what is more valuable to my audience? Playing a game that and promoting a game that may, in air quotes, get developed indefinitely or may not. If that's too big of a question mark, I might just opt to not play it in favor of games that I know are going to continue getting developed. And a game like this, like, I have faith that it's going to keep getting developed. And the reason I have faith is because I've been reading the devs' blog posts for the past year and a half, where he's just like, yeah, I had to get another job for a bit to like pay bills, but we're back. So it's, and same with Odd Realm. It's like Odd Realm's a passion project. It's like he's going to make that game happen regardless. So I'm much more keen to play and promote games like that. Yeah, which is why I've kind of decided that being an early adopter is exhausting. Also, to those of you on the Patreon, it's looking like Infra Arcana is going to end up being the Halloween-y game, if anybody was wondering. God, it takes you so long to walk all the way down here. I love how big these maps are. Holy shit. The whole sandbox genre is a bit tarnished for you right now. Too many developers have used the sandbox premise to avoid creating a story or interesting mechanics. What do you mean? What do you mean by avoid making a story or interesting mechanics? To all the games that didn't make it to the end of development, here, raise a glass. What's this mean? Oh. Has died due to starvation. Oh no. Did we run out of food? I actually don't know what my... I have 135 rations. How did you die to starvation then? All right. Oh, okay. I didn't even see that icon pop up. The grueling hardship has proven too much. Maybe they need bedrooms. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. Orders. Zones. Bedroom. I don't think I can just make like, yo, everybody just gets a bedrooms, but let's see if I can do this. Can I just, oh, I can. Up the priority of that. Can use this menu to change the priority of jobs. Yes, I figured that much out. What have we found here? I have a dorite. I don't even know what that is. Spitalier, thanks for gifting a sub. Cheers, my dude. But yeah, no, this is very much just like a first impressions playthrough, not really intended as a particularly serious session or anything. I'm kind of expecting to just die, to be completely honest. Oh shit, they did chop those trees down. Sawmill 1. Cool. Woodcutter, miner, carpenter. Alright, so I got a couple people with carpentry added. Whoops. Now, what do I do with the dead? Is there like a grave zone? Ah. Sarcophagus or grave? Well, that seems cheerful. Although something that's kind of hilarious about this game, I don't think that this has changed either. There's a game called King Under the Mountain on Steam, right? Which is this game. There's also another game called King Under the Mountain, which is not even remotely related to this game in any way. Which I think is kind of hilarious, that there are two games named King Under the Mountain. Actually, just cancel all these. And do these just this way. And make them 3x3. What, that there's two games called King Under the Mountain on Steam? You are dwarves building a home under a mountain. Makes sense to me. Oh, currently my miner's digging a dirt grave. Well. Does it have a roadmap? View development roadmap. So currently we're on Alpha 7. Sure. Detailed injuries and health rather than being simply alive or dead. All the fun states in between. Unhappiness and tantrums no longer will very upset settlers and just mentally break and wander around aimlessly. Okay, so that's next. Combat and military. Elves and woodland protectorate. Cave monsters. Hostile invasions. And then Steam Early Access. Graves outside? I didn't want them in my house. You put sarcophaguses inside, graves outside. Come on. Yeah, but yeah, here. I'll link the roadmap. Also, kingunderthemount.in I think is genuinely funny. It's genuinely funny to me. Oopsies. Come on, game. Capture. There you go. Can you even make it that far before you get exhausted? Also, I'm starting to have low hopes on finding lava. Curious about how this game's going to spawn monsters. I wonder if they're going to use the dreaded spawn darkness bullshit, or if they're going to have things pop out of your wells like old school DF Let's make logs into planks priority. Like, get her done. Also, I need a wood stockpile. Zones. No. Build? No. Stockpiles. I guess that would be a raw materials stockpile. Then I can be more specific about what I want in it. Settings. Logs. There we go. Yeah, it's very moddable. I know that was always like one of the things the dev pitched pretty highly about this game. That they wanted it to be very moddable. Also, looks like we have stuff here to make soup. Oh shit! We have a cauldron of soup. Carrot and potato soup. That actually sounds like a soup. Huzzah to that. We should make a feasting table. Let's just build these and hopefully they'll make it eventually. That's neat. So is that dead body still just up there? Because I think it is. Also, look at this. The trees change color. Cool. I like. Okay, so this has been assigned to a dwarf. They just haven't buried him yet, I don't think. Or maybe they did. Doesn't quite look like it. I mean, Tarn should add soup because it would be like 3 lines of text. Although I don't know if it would actually be like 3 lines of text, but in my brain it should be like 3 lines of text. So Tarn should indeed add soup. But I also want him to add bread. One day dwarves will learn to make bread. So what exactly stopped working? Because somebody snapped and died for some reason. Some unexplainable reason. And then they forgot how to carpentry. Or rather, they just like don't have that job left. That or you're just like doing other things? What are you doing? It's like, I just want you to do that. But I guess we don't have wood planks? No, we totally do. I don't know. Guess they've just decided that this is not high enough priority. Highest. Plankify that stuff. Priority, let's make this lower. So let's just work on the stuff that's in here. I also don't think you can smooth walls. At least not that I found. It'll check if it's warm. I mean, you know, I would tend to agree. My favorite thing that Tarn's done with new mechanics recently was him talking about adding feces and like pee to the game, and then was just like, yeah, and it would make tanning really complicated, and like nobody thought about that. Because I certainly didn't ever think that it would make tanning really complicated, but well, I mean, don't check how hot your food is and get your tongue burnt. That's how that goes. You know what? I'm gonna remove all this stuff for right now because I need a metals industry first. Yeah, no, absolutely. But this game is firmly on the intriguing zone for me. Firmly in the intriguing zone. I'm just like, the thing that I'm currently really happy about with DF is that the Steam version actually has a fully functioning or has multiple framed animations for not sure why they're not using this. Has multiple frames of animation for vermin. Yeah, I mean, definitely check on when it does the early access thingy. But so far, this is a very solid first impression for me. There's one other game that I want to check out today too, so we're going to do that. Then I don't know what I'm going to do this evening. Figure that out when I get there. But I mean, I backed this game because it was like, $15, I'd like to see this game get made. So I backed it. I'm just kind of curious to see about how much we can make happen right now. I do hope that the UI gets updated and changed a bit, though, because this feels a bit too alpha. Like, it's fine, but I do hope that this stuff gets a little bit of a work on, you know? Because I want them to make these beds, but I'm confused as to why they're not, or why they're unable to do that. It's like, I've got 48 planks available. They should very much be able to just make these. And I also feel like I would go farming stuff, bedrooms, kitchen. But the tutorial's like, no, you want kitchen first. So. Maybe we start over? I don't know. Oh god, that slurping sound. Oh, good lord. Was that one of the things on there? Yeah, I mean, I figured this UI is all placeholder. It feels placeholder. Hey, chat, I'm just going to ask an honest question. Should we start over? Now that we kind of have an idea of what this game wants us doing? What do you think? Or should we just play this out until all these little dudes fall over? I mean, it's nothing compared to that pooping sound from Songs of Six, but yeah, it does have some nice sounds. Because you just got here? Finish digging to the left. Fair. Yeah, okay. We'll finish digging to the left and see what happens. Dig to the left. And I will speed up time to maximum. I don't think we're going to find anything at the left. I mean, it won't, but it'll give me a 7th dwarf, because one of them died for some reason. So. And it'll also let me prioritize things a bit better. Because right now, an issue that I'm having is because I've mined all the way to the left, they're prioritizing running all the way to the furthest away rock to carry them back. Whoa, okay. Well, we dug all the way to the left. No lava. I think that's something you'd have to ask Dev. Just like real Dwarf Fortress, yeah. Well, I mean, there is no adversaries in the game right now, so it would make sense. All right, let's start a new game.
You suck.
No, you suck. Chestnut hammer? Green galley. Weak axe. No, strong axe. Bad. Stone glory. Stone, you're going to glory. Did you know that? Let's try this again. I also have a Discord community. Whoa! That's a very big mountain with no visible caves. All right, let's settle. This is a very different map. I like it. All right, let's plop our stoof down right there. Begin. Hints only. Okay. Orders. Chop down some tweez and begin the digging. I think that'll do so far. The placing of the starting point is very nice. That's actually something that Tarn's talked about. Actually, Tarn says that he wants us to eventually be able to drive the wagon from the mountain home to your starting location. So Tarn's got plans for that, but they're bigger than just, you know, clicking on the map to go to the thing. He's talked about that in, I think, 2 of the interviews I've done. You know, if Steam DF plays as well as this, Steam DF will be fine. That's a compliment for this game, as well as fingers crossed for Steam DF. Let's also do some bedrooms. So, let's just continue this up this way and go like down this way. Oopsies. Bedroom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't even know if you can get migrants right now. All right, let's back up and then go to priority and say that all of this is higher priority. Hey, you. You're finally awake. Yeah. They should do something like that. Selecting is no good. Need to drive wagon. Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that is common. Although, not being able to select your starting point in DF, one of the best parts about that is like when you spawn into the map and you're just like, I am at the very highest point of a very pointy mountain. Hey, Squawk, what's up? I kind of love that, like when you settle on a volcano and it's just like, I'm right on the edge, about to fall into a volcano. It's like, you breathe on us, we teeter in. What's up, Justcraft? How you doing? We're checking out the backer beta of this. Or backer alpha, I guess, technically. Still very early, but, you know, starting to give kind of an idea on what this game's going to end up looking like. All right, let's make a sawmill. Hey, chat, did you saw that mill? Because I saw a mill, and it's right here. I'm funny. Farm plots. How big did I make that? 6 by 12? 7 by 12. 7 by 12. Seven by 12. That's how Tarn goes the extra mile and then a little bit extra. And just when you start to think he's going a little bit nuts, he then adds something else, and you're like, what? But, that's also why, that's why I played Dwarf Fortress, is because it's the ridiculous game that adds features just because, fuck it? Not because they should logically be there. But it's also inspiring other developers to make cool things. And now that we know what's on the left side, nothing. Let's stick to the right side. All the way to the right. I mean, actually, we'll probably run into more in this because, there are certainly caverns and caves and stuff. It's the feature creep game. I mean, you could say that about a lot of games that kind of come from the same ilk as DF. You could say that about Dwarf Fortress. You could say that about Caves of Cud. You could say that about NetHack. You could say that about Tome. You could say that about a lot of games. Not yet. So this is the backer alpha, and there is a demo available, Joustcraft. But this game's I think still half a year to a year away from releasing in early access. Enemies and monsters and stuff is all on the roadmap. Someone in chat could probably link the roadmap again. I don't want to tab out because the game doesn't like tabbing out. But it has a pretty detailed roadmap with a lot of stuff in it. And I backed this on Kickstarter. I want to say in 2018? It was a while ago. But development on this has been slow. But the game has a publisher now. So it's just kind of one of those games that I've been keeping an eye on for a while. Thanks, Dominok. I think it's 2 people. I think it's a graphics person and then a dev. But literally the Kickstarter when I backed it was the amount of money that he got for it was yeah, this isn't enough. This isn't enough for me to live off of, but this is enough that I can take 2 days a week off of my main job and then work on the game. So it's one of those things where it's this is a game that'll get developed. And he's taken pretty long periods of time off to go make money and come back. So it's a game that I've been watching, and I will keep watching because I'm curious about this one. All right, let's make carrot. Let's make potato. Let's make hops, and let's make tomato, and then we will make another one for wheat. But I also wonder about a lot of these games, and I sometimes wonder, it's would they have existed if they knew that DF was going to be a thing eventually? I've been wondering about that a bunch myself. So yeah, I mean, Kickstarter was what, 4 years ago? So yeah, I've had access to the various builds of this game for a while, but I didn't really see any reason to check it out because it was just so early for most of that. The original demo was literally just a water physics demo. But yeah, I would also recommend if you are curious about trying this game, just go poke the demo because there's a demo on Steam. Go give her a look-see, you know what I'm saying? Ow. Just cracked my ankle and it hurt. It sent this shoot of pain all the way up my leg. You just got done showing the roadmap for your team's software dev? Oh, really? What kind of thing are you working on, if I can ask? I'm actually going to mine out a room right here. And this is why I like the priorities. So I can make you super high priority and you lower priority. And we're going to put a mason shop back there. No Steam DF will stop them? No, but like I wonder if because like before Steam DF was announced, there was kind of a market for games that cloned Dwarf Fortress, right? But did it in a more approachable manner. Like that was straight up a market before Steam DF got announced. And now that Steam DF exists, it's a weird world where it's like, well, yeah, there's still that market, but also it's like, yeah, whoa. I just wonder if devs would have started on the project in the beginning. Okay, thanks, Rain. I just wonder if devs would have started on a lot of these projects from the get-go, like initially, if the. So those are slate. Can I make you out of a different material? I mean. You're just kind of wandering around, but like you do have woodcarver and carpenter, so I would think that you would do that. Maybe if I give you stonemason, are you going to go construct that? I wonder. Optimistic about new settlement. Trying to figure out how to make them build this. Maybe they're just too... They might just be too busy working on the farms. I've given them too many jobs. Well, I mean, like, I guess here's an... Sorry, I got distracted by the lightning. But an example is, like... the developer of Dungeon Mans, who I spoke with in a video recently, stated that if he'd seen the number of downvotes on his Steam Greenlight, he probably never would have made Dungeon Mans, because he would have assumed that nobody wanted to play it, right? And in a world where you are benefiting from the existence of Dwarf Fortress, which is a game that a lot of people are scared to play because of how daunting it is, when you're benefiting from that, the existence of that, without directly competing with it, I feel like that makes the prospect of playing in that same space approachable. But if you are directly competing with it, that makes it a more daunting prospect. I don't know. I'm not a developer, so I don't really know personally. But like, oh, also they said something about needing tools, right? Right. Let's build it. Let's build a tools stockpile and see what that does. So I don't know. I wonder if the prospect of competing with it directly would scare some people off. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about big AAA developers, right? I'm talking about indie devs. I'm talking about like 1-2 person teams. I'm not talking about like, you know, Activision trying to just take over a market share. I'm talking about like small devs, you know? I mean, like, someone asked us in a Future of the Fortress with Tarn Adams recently where they straight up were just like, yo, do you feel that, like, a genre is being born out of Dwarf Fortress? And to a degree, I kind of think there is. Although I do think that there are some developers who greatly confuse their game as like Dwarf Fortress when in reality it's nothing like Dwarf Fortress and actually more like The Sims. I think that a lot of games end up being the Sims clones, even though they think it's a Dwarf Fortress clone. So considering they suggest that you have one plot per 2 dwarves. Or sorry, 10 tiles per dwarf. That's like a lot of farming. I'm not a Blizzard hater. I don't hate on any particular studio. I think that their upper management needs to be shot into the sun, though. The games they make are fine. But like I said, it's not really relevant to the discussion particularly. There we go. Yeah, I'm also now starting to wonder if the dev got the sounds from... Also, the way the tools work is really cool, because in order to construct these, they need to put the tools on them. Like, they need to have the saw there. So at some point, we're going to be, like, manufacturing tools. That's a really cool idea. Like, in Dwarf Fortress, they just kind of, like, miraculously make tools appear, sort of. No, well, it's 10 tiles per dwarf, right? 70 tiles total, right? But that's still a lot of farming. Like, in a world where in Dwarf Fortress you can feed an entire fort with like a 6x6 farm, that's a lot of farming compared to Dwarf Fortress, is all I'm saying. Like, yes, this is way too much farming right now. I'm aware of that, but also that's a lot more farming than you'd be doing in Dwarf Fort, which I think is interesting. Sure, but here's the thing, right, Dominoc? Nomoria and Towns are games that exist because of Dwarf Fortress. Like, I don't think that this is a new phenomenon necessarily, but it's a phenomenon that's been building over the last decade. Like, over like the last 10 years or so, there's been like in the late 2000s, there was maybe one or two. And then since then, there's been about 3 or 4. But in the last 5 years, there's been a handful of high-profile, successful, big games, you know? Like, you know, you got your Rim Worlds. Like, I wouldn't quite say that Nomoria was successful because, like, they closed development of that game. But, you know, you have your Rim World, for example. You have games like Space Haven. You have games like, as mechanically light and dull as it is, you have games that are, like, going medieval, that are just trying to do that. And, like, you know, a game like this, which is trying to emulate an earlier era of Dwarf Fortress to a degree, which I'm all for. I think that this is really cool that this game exists. It's interesting that it's like there's a grist mill, a baker's workshop, and a baker's oven. Like, there's a lot of stuff to this. This is cool. I mean, Kenchi's kind of a different thing. I don't really know how to classify Kenchi. Yeah, I mean, I never said it was a bad thing, Dominic. I just think it's interesting that literally a type of game is being born out of Dwarf Fort. Maybe I made this too big. We're on day 5, though. Not bad for 5 days. You know, we got a bunch of farm plots planted and some stuff that we are working on. We got blocks being made and planks being made. And off to a good start, I say. Although perhaps I could cancel all this and move where it's going to be. This might be a bit more efficient if we do it here. I'm also kind of worried we're going to hit a cave. Was that a cave-in? That was a cave-in. Holy shit. Interesting. I don't think it killed anybody. All right. Well, you got to build pillars. Speaking of building pillars, how are you doing, Ponce? That's fucking cool that shit caves in. Also, though, leads to the question as to why those caves don't cave in, but all right. Eating a hamburger? I mean, I should eat some lunch. I'm getting hungry, but just trying some new stuff today. We took a peek at the beta branch for Odd Realm, which is good, but very unfinished. So I'm going to wait until it gets patched a little bit. Trying out this because I've had access to it forever. And consistently impressed, I would say. You know, I've never lived in a world where Taco Tuesday exists. I'll be honest. I also appreciate the fact that it didn't kill any of my dwarves with that cave-in, although I did lose a bucket, or a barrel. But yeah, no, just chilling. Just chilling, trying new things. Okay, I think you are building this. Used to do $2 Taco Tuesdays. That seems like the only reason for it to be worth going to. There's a pretty okay taco place close to where I live, but they haven't had... Is there a particular reason why you're incapable of doing that? Is there just too much stuff happening, maybe? But there's a pretty good taco place near me, but I've never really made a huge habit of getting tacos frequently. Well, I need a chef assigned. It's weird that this guy has no sounds when he's mining. I wonder why that is. Are the sprites getting better at mining? I think it's one of them has a pick and one of them doesn't. This guy is definitely better at mining. I don't know if they have any skills. If they do, they're certainly not really heavily displayed. All right, guys, I get it. We can't make big building. Can we please finish those? There you go. Making that pillar. Excellent. Fortunately, I don't believe anybody has died in a cave-in yet. Oopsies. Leave that one up. I do like that stuff caves in, though. That is cool. That cave-in aspect is just like a... kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting... Oh, geez. You can mine out your walls. Well, shit. All right. Don't mine your walls, chat room. In case you didn't realize, that's a bad idea. Just didn't even think about it. I'm really curious to know what the release UI is going to end up looking like for this. But yeah, no, solid first impression for this. Come on, little dwarves, do what you gotta do. Can we build that support, please? The stuff doesn't seem to cave in immediately. Uh-oh. Well, there it goes. All right. Well, you know how they say, fool me once, fool me twice. I'm just going to mine around that center bit. I don't know how much support I need to leave, so I'm just going to leave some. Seven by 7 need pillar support? Did you just look it up or something? And I like that my poor kitchen keeps getting made smaller. If you want to try this game out, that Tryon guy, you can find it on Steam. There's a demo available, but this is the backer beta for a game that was kickstarted in 2018. Although don't be confused, because there's another game on Steam called King Under the Mountain, which isn't helpful to anybody. So that's getting a pillar. I think I'm going to cancel this and mine this one instead. I think that it's also up on itch, I think. But yeah, it's like 2D Dwarf Fortress Lite. It's close. I just need them to build the pillars. I'm just gonna wait until they successfully build pillars and then we'll dig it out. Ooh, I only just noticed irrigation. This makes me want to try this. Let's run irrigation through this. I just want to see what that does. What am I doing? Zones. Feasting hall. We can make this bigger later. Feasting cauldron. Feasting table. Thanks, Dominoc. You're helpful. I appreciate it. Investments are open. Heads up, chat. Is there a pillar tile? I certainly haven't seen it if there is. I blame crappy UI. Roofing, flooring, furniture. Demolish!
Wow, and now recognize recent. Is this recent Twitch bug?
It's not a bug, but if you refresh your stream, it'll give you the notification immediately. It just doesn't load for a while. So like when you pay to re-up your sub, you'll get the badge immediately, but you don't get the option to pop your sub notification immediately. You have to refresh the page to do that. Twitch has always been that way. But thank you very much for the 3rd month. Welcome back, Vess. Also, did somebody die or am I crazy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somebody died. Probably in a cave. It's in the zones, any, and furniture. There is not in any zone, my dude. Like, because I don't see pillars in here, so. I mean, maybe pillars are a thing, but I don't understand why just building a wall wouldn't do it. But okay, so what's this? Let's see if I can figure out what you're trying to explain to me. Yeah, no, it's not there. Let's go to a different one. See? So I don't see what pillar thing you're talking about. But it doesn't exist. So like I said, just, I'm maybe playing a different version of the game than you. Are you playing the demo or something, or? Because this is the backer alpha, not the demo. Okay, yeah, then you're playing a different version of the game than me. Which admittedly might have more updated mechanics. I have the full game. This is the full game right now. Which is because I backed it. I've had access to this game for about 2 years. 2.5? It's just been sitting in my Steam library and just haven't touched it. And I had the, oh, you don't have air irrigation? All right, well, see, there you go. So, just maybe stuff that you have isn't necessarily helpful to me because it might just not exist. Also, dwarves are dying. Died due to dehydration. I'm sorry, how? I mean, there's water right there. That's what they were drinking? Yeah, see, I'm on version 7. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 7.0.4. Well, they did that irrigation thing. Don't know if it actually went all the way to the river. I just don't worry about it, Diamond. It's fine. I appreciate the assistance, but all it is kind of annoying. It's not really actually helping anything. What I'm much more concerned about is why dwarves are dying of thirst. Lack of backseating for mayor would be much more preferred. Jess, thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders. How we all doing? Hello, everybody. How's things? Hey, Tom. Just some old guy. Nilo. How's things? This is the backer beta for this game, so there is a Steam demo for it, and we're just kind of poking a few things today because I felt like it. So that's what we're doing. We're looking at new stuff. Because I've been in the backer beta for this game for a very long time. A very long time. Just give them sleeping spots for right now. And beds, so we'll give them both. I don't know what the demo's like, but this is the backer beta because I backed it. So from what I can tell, I have some features that the demo doesn't. It's got a lot of potential. I don't know if you need to play the demo, though. As somebody who plays Dwarf Fortress, I think Dwarf Fortress is a game I would rather just play. But, you know, it's certainly killing my dwarves, which is fitting. But it's definitely impressing me. Like, it's consistently impressing me. Oh, did it? Oh, that's unfortunate. Last I heard, they it's cute RimWorld? No, it's Dwarf Fortress demade. It's light Dwarf Fortress. This is like, I mean, obviously you're gonna play it like RimWorld, but everything about this game is more like Dwarf Fortress than RimWorld. Call me a cynic, but what does it do differently? Kind of everything, actually. Like, for example, you make a feasting hall, and then they cook multiple meals or different types of meals at the kitchen. You can make a bakery. There's a bunch of different cooking options available, and then they bring the cauldron full of soup over to the hall, just to give you a basic example of what it does differently. But it also doesn't have Z levels. There's a lot of things that this game does differently than Dwarf Fortress. Obviously, it's still very unfinished, so don't play it. And I'll say this, if you want to be a cynic, be a cynic. Don't play it. That's fine. Just keep playing DF. Nobody is telling you to play a game. It exists. If you would like to play it, by all means, play it. If you don't want to play it, that's also fine. Don't play it. No one's going to judge you for that. It's not my job to tell you to play games or why you should play games. I will play games that look interesting to me. And if you decide they're also interesting, then cool. Play them too. Otherwise, don't. Sorry, I really dislike what does this game do differently? It's like, kind of everything. No, you don't? Because I'll ban you from my chat if you do? That trying guy? Play games and enjoy games. I mean, for one thing, a dwarf needs about 10 tiles worth of food to survive the winter. Farm tiles are huge compared to DF already. And I haven't gotten very far in. And I need another farmer, because my other one died. Not convinced irrigation works, though. Also, there's just a dead dwarf there. Should probably build some, graves. I wonder if they can cross the river. But just remember, I'm not here to tell you you need to play games. I'm just simply here because I think that this game looks interesting, so thus I'm going to play it. And if you'd like to play it too, that's cool. You're more than welcome to play it too. If you don't want to play it, don't play it. I'm not here to explain somebody with an intentionally negative attitude why they should look at different and interesting games that may have different ideas on how to do things. It's not my job. You like the animation of the door opening? Yeah. It's got a lot of neat little details. So how's that for a summary? What was me? You need 2 graves because 2 guys have died. I guess the one final thing I'll say like that is no other games would exist, you know? Why play any game that isn't the big popular one? I mean, RimWorld, I guarantee you, is a better game than this. Play that. If you want a game that has a DF-like experience that's also very different, just play that. It'll be fine. Although I have no idea what I'm actually supposed to be doing here, and happiness is super goddamn low because they've seen dead bodies and such. I need you guys to put those bodies into the grave. Can I make a stockpile for that? But yeah, if we're gonna get into this game is better than that game for this reason, because this game it's like that's not the point of this stream. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do that, but you can do that on your own time. I just don't have the desire to do that. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Can I set the grave priority? No, it doesn't look like I can. That's construction priority. Let's just see. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're making stockpiles for corpses. Yeah, I mean, well, we tried, and also unfinished game. But I really like how the cooking works so far. Carried a dead body. Well, at least you hauled it somewhere. Slept on rough ground. Did we get one of these buried? No? Guys, do you want to, deal with this? They seem to just have too much work to do. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why you guys are so uninterested in disposing of those bodies. What's a TLDR on the note on the publisher thing? Dominic? There we go. Okay, that's what needed to happen. Perfect. I think there was just too many tasks. That's one gone. Now we just need the other one to get removed. Yeah, no, I mean, that seems like a good quote. What's happening is that working on the publisher has fallen through, so you're self-publishing the game and crunching to... I'll deal with you in a second, Freeways. Self-publishing the game to work towards a release date forward from January to November. And that would be Valve would pay out any January purchases, so by the 24th is the current date. Well, second 2 months today, so unless the different publisher gets involved shortly, which discussions are ongoing for. Okay. Well, jeez. I don't know. I hope all the best to this game. I also like the way the trees change color. They don't all change at the exact same time, which is cool. Let's see if I can build a lantern in there. I don't even know if that... I don't even know if that can start... Oh, no, it did. Tin nuggets. We do have tin nuggets. Curious about how much light that's going to provide. I'm also perplexed as to why the beds haven't been made. Maybe I made them out of the wrong material. Let's try a different material. Wood, any. I don't care if they're backwards. And Freeways, thank you very much for 15 months of support. Thank you very much for helping keep the channel funded 1 month at a time. Are really a king under that mountain? I don't know if we're necessarily a king under a mountain yet, but we're currently aspiring to be kings under said mountain. Rocket? What did that say? I wonder how long these last. Like these crappy moods. I'm not super fond that they're going with kind of the RimWorld method of just mood debuffs, but... Oh, that's neat. Colored lighting. Cool. I mean, they have benefits. It's just like anything. Am I capable of irrigating all the way to the water right now? Or does it just stop at that point? Kind of feels like it just stops at that point. All right, well, it said to try and set up a metalworking industry, so let's try and set up a metalworking industry. I'm still trying to figure out why these beds haven't been constructed, though. Actually, let's try something. I've got an idea. Zones, just stockpiles. Products. Let's make this stockpile bigger. So now this has become a, what, tools and stockpile? Yeah, so it's a tools and stockpile. Let's see if that helps. Well, I mean, games is a complicated industry. Did you see that dwarf just like spinning in circles? What the fuck was that? Also seems like happiness / unhappiness has neutralized a bit. Oh, that's what that says. It says rock bread rations. I thought it said rocket rations. I was like, what the fuck's a rocket ration? Seems to need a water mill or a pump. I mean, it's not like the game has a tutorial for that stuff. You can use this view to lay pipes between liquid inputs and outputs, as well as irrigation channels. And these are placed below the ground to make sure that settlers can access each tile from the side. Furniture with liquid inputs will display blue or green with output. Okay. Power. I kind of want to build a bridge. Oh, neat. Cool. I'm wondering if I can raise the bridges. 18 of 42 sandstone blocks. Jesus, that's a big bridge. I mean, I've got no idea how any of this stuff works. I don't know if I need to fiddle with it right now. I think, like, working on the actual indoor area is more important currently. Audio, what up? It's good to see you. Let's give you chef. Let's, like, make you be chef. And I also need to put a zone in here for food. Also, I need a seeds zone, which I definitely didn't do earlier. Food. But how's things, audio? Yeah, I'm just gonna worry about feeding the people first. Dominoc. It's more it's more Dwarf Fortress than RimWorld. Less RimWorld, more DF. Although there are certain mechanics in it from that are very rimmy that I'm not a fan of. Like the way it's doing moods. Not thrilled about that, but I might actually just hack down a bunch of trees. Let's just remove all those. But yeah, it's much more DF than Rim. Because of the other company, it's not your fault, but it's not a great feeling like you've literally got nothing that you can do to help. I know that feeling. I definitely can relate. Feeling like you are powerless to assist, even though you'd like to. The fact that shit caves in actually is making mining interesting. I do wish that there was more information as to why this isn't working, because, like, I do have, like, shit tons of planks. It's like, I got shit tons of planks. Why can't they just make those beds? Don't understand. Let's make those top priority. Let's just make all the bedroom stuff top priority. They're gonna make all the doors, but then they're not gonna make the beds. I mean, it's still your job, even if it's not your portion of the work. It's still a project that you're working on, so it makes sense why you care. I mean, it's like when Twitch makes your guys' life worse because they add a stupid feature. It's like, it's not something I have any control over, but it is something that directly affects me and affects you guys. And so I feel bad even though there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. It's like, I shouldn't feel bad whenever Twitch implements a new feature that we all unanimously dislike, but there's literally nothing I can do about it, so what's the point in getting upset about it? You know? Because there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Good lord. I don't know if anybody's looked at it, but look at the patch notes for Odd Realm. Holy shit. It was a lot of fixes, including some things that we were having trouble with, so that's good. Alright, so they're making those. So what job do we need? Because it looks like they can only have 3 main jobs in this, which is fine. A blacksmith, farmer, carpenter. Miner, farmer, chef. Barley seeds. Iron saw. Steel hammer. Like, there's so many little tools and things that I'm so curious about with this game. Like, I think for me, I'm just very curious to see how far this game's gonna go. Thanks for your 1 cent. Zychrome. Aren't you streaming right now? What? I'm actually perplexed now. Hold on a second. I thought I just saw a notification that you went live. Unless, like, I missed that. I also like that this game differentiates between wood types. Okay, fair enough. I was very perplexed to see. I was like, I thought that you were streaming. You're still somehow the king of money for the stream today, at 12 cents. Oh, hey, they like sleeping in enclosed bedrooms. Chat, I will be back in a moment. I'm just gonna, real quick, go use the restroom. BRB. All right, I return. Sorry, I have to tab out to unmute and mute myself. Also, chat, can I get a beer or 2 for Zychrome's 1 bit? It's still money. It's still a reason to post beer, even if it's a very smooth amount. And can I get like twice the number of beers for audio, just like completely obliterating that 12 cents in tips with the 50 cents in tips? Thanks for 2 quarters. Cheers. I'll spend those on some gas station candy. For a split second, I misread that as a stonemason workshop, and I was like, why is there a stone workshop? No, it's not. All right. Stones. What else can we do? Metalworks. I shall metal up these works. Ore crushing station. Coke oven. Forge. I don't actually know what we need. So, you know, I actually have an idea on how I'm going to build this. And thank you very much for the 39 cents, Zychron. Cheers. I do have a sawmill. It's right here. It needs to make planks. And they've made a bajillion planks, but they're just not building beds for some unknowable reason. They need Natisia planks, which we have a bajillion of. They're just not doing it. They are top priority, and I do not understand why. The only job that I could think of that they could possibly need for it would be carpentry. I got plenty of carpenters. So I do not know. Maybe I need somebody who's just assigned as a villager? Let's try that. So I don't know. Whoa! Tirelac, thanks for 25 bucks.
Ding, it's October.
Ding, it's October. It is indeed October. It's the best season of the year. The best month of the year. Thank you very much for the 25 bucks. Cheers, man. So I'm just going to make this Metalworks flow through these two rooms. Crap explosion! I mean, that's kind of a cryptois, I would think. Like $31, I think. There's also a baker's workshop here, which I'm just going to build because I'm kind of curious about what it does. Cash, not fan. I like how you have to like disclose that that is indeed Cash, not a fan. But we are a fan of Cash. Not to be confused with that Cash definitely not being a fan. This will play well on the VOD. The other important question is, what is that Cash a fan of? Also, thank you very much for the direct tip, because that's going to go into my beer fund for vacation.
How does a squid go into battle? Well armed.
No, it's an octopus. But thanks for the $1. Cheers, man. All right, so Forge. Can go down here. Coke oven can go up here. A bloomery furnace. I don't know what any of these are or what they require, so I'm just building all of them. Just remember, Vancouver has an octopus named Ceph Rogan. It's a cephalopod. Thank you very much for the $1, though. Chat, can I get a couple beers for that $1 from Zychron? Thanks for the $1.51 today. Cheers. I'm really curious as to if you get more dwarves, like how you get more dwarves in this game right now. That's something I have no idea about. Like, do migrants just show up? Like, I'm kind of half expecting, like, oh, you have 30 new migrants to just happen. I'm kind of just expecting that to happen. He lives in the greater Vancouver area. I think he lives in North Van, I think. Which is where most of the wealthy people here live. Yeah, I mean, he's a Vancouver native. He's Born and raised here. You can buy his weed here. What makes it different? It's hard to explain. It's a game. Well, first off, it's not 3D, which is kind of a big difference. Games like this are. I would describe this game as trying to be a better RimWorld because I don't like RimWorld. It's much more. It's got much more in common with Dwarf Fortress than a game like RimWorld, and a lot of very small mechanics are very different. The workshop structuring is much more complex than Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is very, you build a workshop, it does a thing, done, right? But like the kitchen has like multiple functions already. And the way the kitchen connects with the feasting hall is already interesting. I don't know. I'm not that far in. Also, the game's very far from being done. So I genuinely can't actually answer that question. But what I can say is it's trying to be like... That's no, she did not spam chat. Board to Beers is the first time you spoke today. But it's so far has already got some pathing bugs. It's already got enough mechanics that it's impressing me. Like it's got functioning cave-ins, but like there's no enemies in the game currently, right? Like nothing attacks you. That's not for 2 more alpha versions. And will be in the game by early access, but isn't in the game yet. So it's one of those games where it's trying to be a similar game, but changing enough and adjusting the way the game works enough that, and doing enough things differently. Like it's trying to have some online interactivity already. I mean, it's already got Twitch integration built into it, for example. Not that that's a positive thing. Very moddable. I mean, it's just a different game in the same genre, similar to like No Moria. But what does it do differently? I mean, I could tell you that better once it's done, or like actually released, instead of just like in a demo and backer beta format, which is all it is currently. And buggy, because it is certainly buggy currently. Man, that's the best answer I can give you right now. Cool, they are actually starting to bring materials over for that. I mean, I have a tip, especially if you have Twitch Prime, just swap over to the little other smileys. Like, you know, this one. I really need to fix this game's capture, but... I don't know. I see games like this and games like Odd Realm. It's just like, well, as long as you do enough to differentiate yourself, you can coexist with a game like RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress and all those. No problems. At least not for me. I'm totally okay with just playing games that are slightly different. Like, the way the farming works is already way more complex than Dwarf Fortress. Like, most crops take a whole year to grow and you have to plant them in the spring, for example. I had lightning strike a tree and the tree caught fire. That was exciting. Seems neat. I don't know. I don't think that it's going to be like a 1000% need to play this game, but I'll check in with it and play it occasionally. There's another lightning strike. Okay, left a little crater. I'm waiting for it to strike a dwarf and the dwarf to just explode. Well, I mean, No Moria was isometric, not 3D, but I mean, that's what I think of as like going medieval right now, right? Going medieval is very much like a 3D shallow as hell RimWorld clone, right? And it's the don't anger the sky gods. I'm not trying to, but the trees are reaching for them. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, right now, this is unfinished, and obviously DF's better, and obviously RimWorld's better, and obviously every other game that's even remotely similar is probably better, but currently it's an intriguing game with a lot of potential, I think. Considering it already impressed me with the fact that my shit started caving in almost immediately. Which, again, is a feature that DF doesn't have. I'm also really curious about the tools, which I haven't really gotten into manufacturing, but, like, you're going to have to be making, like... I'm assuming you need a rolling pin to make a bakery, which is something that I'm working on. They also just brought a kitchen knife, so are we going to be... like producing specific numbers of tools to be able to build workshops? Are the tools going to degrade? Like there's a lot of like really neat ideas. See, like they need, in order to make a baker shop, they need blocks, they need a rolling pin, and they need a tin kitchen knife. It's like, I don't know, there's a lot of little details that even Dwarf Fortress doesn't do that I think is going to make this game really neat. Like the reason I can't build these beds is I'm probably lacking a specific tool that I need. Oh, also, I just figured it out. Waiting for linen to be available. All right, so we need linen in order to make beds. Interesting. Okay. So I guess we need a textile workshop to do that. Reading would help. Someone's going to yell at me about that in the YouTube comments. Which, again, also isn't something DF needs. So it seems to be like... removes the complexity of the Z levels and replaces that complexity with more complex crafting. Seems to be what this game is trying to do. Just looking at it. And I'm also really curious to see what the combat ends up looking like. I'm curious to see if they go RimWorld route with the combat, or if they just go like Dwarf Fortress No Moria, where you just kind of tell them to go this general area and then they... Tin wouldn't make a very good knife? Yeah, but it's better than like a wooden knife. I'm just expecting to starve to death over the winter, I'll be honest. Day 1 winter. Let's see if it's snow. I'm expecting us to all starve to death. But if we make it, that'd be cool. Let's see if I can... you can harvest berries. A little bit of lag right there. Oh shit, it's snowing! Did anybody here watch Kiri play this yesterday? Because I know Kiri played a bit of this yesterday. Now that's some pretty dwarfy looking snow. Also snow on trees! Cool. I wonder if the water's gonna freeze. All right, time for us to starve to death. Yeah, I think somebody got flattened in a cave-in because we're missing a body. So I have a feeling that somebody just got flattened in a cave-in. How unfortunate. Also doesn't look like there's any trading or anything. Yet. Produce most wooden tools and items. Let's dig a little room over here. But yeah, I hope that this game does well. Because I would like to... I always want to see games that are trying to do DF-style complexity with a more approachable opening, if that makes any sense. And I think that that's a pretty hard thing to tackle for any developers, so I respect it. Rough stone boulders. There we go. What's this game? This is King Under the Mountain. It's a game that I backed on Kickstarter a while ago. Oh shit, all the bushes died. Sweet. Also looks like we have finished making our soup because our cauldron disappeared from over here, which means it'll move up there eventually. I think like the indoor areas get a little dark, at least currently. Like I do have this one lantern, but it's like not exactly cheap to make. I guess like for me, what's gonna make or break this game for me is how they end up doing combat and whether or not they go with research and how alive the game feels. If the game ends up feeling alive and they have an interesting combat system that isn't just like a carbon copy of other game systems, I think that this game could be really cool. Enrico, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, I do think that this game has a lot of potential. And when I say combat, I mean more specifically just how... Oh, this needs power. Interesting. Interesting. So, like, the ore crusher needs power. So the question is, because it's got a big old handle on it, can a dwarf just, like, turn that? Commander Ops, what up? It's good to see you. Yeah, except I backed this one. There's a demo available on Steam if you want to try it, but I'm currently playing the backer beta, which is one version ahead. Or I guess the backer alpha, because I backed it. That is a funny as hell pathing issue where they just spin in circles. Please don't fix that. That's a good feature. I fiddled with a little bit of Odd Realm earlier today, and now we're fiddling with this. I mean, DF is still obviously a better game than this, but you want something that's like DF, but not like DF, this might be worth looking into. Okay, so you bring this up here. I'm really curious to see if these end up working. Yeah, okay, so somebody can bring it. So it says not enough power. Now, I'm wondering if that means that requires an underground power connection. Oh, jeez. Producer such as a windmill or a water wheel. But it doesn't seem to need it. So I guess maybe you can make it more efficient if it has power? You jumped off pretty early. Buggy. I'm gonna wait. I mean, admittedly, like that's what that patch is. It's testing, right? So, buggy is how it was. I lasted like 2 hours, and then we just swapped off, and now we're doing this. The other game I kind of want to try out today is Clan Folk, for a couple of reasons, but oh shit, thunderstorm. Well, at least we still have a bunch of rations. I don't really see them going to the table to eat, though. Some millstone. You know what the graphics in this kind of remind me of, or like the items, is that one life game. You know, where the one where you grow up in like an hour and you become old. 1 hour, 1 life, that game. The items kind of remind me of that. Same with the trees. You like the lighting? Yeah, I like the lighting too. The lighting's neat. I mean, the lighting in and of itself is a unique feature to this game. because DF doesn't have lighting. But I will be playing more Odd Realm this month. Big did I end up making this 6x7? I'm gonna make another one of these. Actually, no, I don't need to because I don't actually have enough dwarves. I need more dwarves! Not really. There's no roguelikes, so at least none that I would care about. Rock bread rations. That sounds and looks unpleasant. Rock bread. It's just, it looks like a hockey puck. Probably has the consistency and tastiness of a hockey puck. That's a woodcutting bench, and this is a carpentry workbench. Although I might just end up playing this today. We'll see. Although I haven't actually been streaming that long. I'm just really tired. The actual problem is, if I'm being honest, I've been very burnt out for a while. And I really need a vacation. So I'm just kind of like plodding through the last few days until I can get to vacation. I just need to disconnect for a couple of days. It's not you guys, I just need a vacation. You guys are great. Love hanging out with you guys, but I will get some immigrants in spring. Hopefully, that'd be cool. I kind of figured that's what would happen, but we're kind of like at our production cap right now is the issue. That is, of course, we live that long. Ironically, it's like, that sounds like a long time for vacation audio, but it's like 4 days. It's my normal 2 days off plus 2 days. When I told my dad I was going on vacation, he goes, "Oh, where and how long?" And I told him, and he's like, "That's not a vacation. That's a glorified long weekend." I'm like, well, I don't get those, so. This is the most time I've taken off since I was in hospital in 2020. My dad's like, vacation, 6 weeks. I was like, a full week? I don't think I can afford that. I don't think I can quite afford a full... It's like, yeah, I can't afford it financially, but it's one of those, like... I don't know. I don't know if I can afford that. I'm not confident that I can afford that, which is why I don't. I like the snow. I wish that the water was more pronounced. Like, I don't even know if you guys can see the water, but there is, like, water flowing here. And there's, like, a very slight animation. I wish the animation was more detailed. I wish it was darker and easier to see. Like, if I were to take a week off, I would need... I don't know. I don't know how I would do that. I'm gonna take time off again in November, though. Well, it's not gonna be time off. I won't be streaming for a couple days in November when the hot potato stuff happens, so that I can just, like, you know, be helping Sui with that stuff. So we are slowly building all of this stuff. Oh shit, also, I didn't notice this. But our stuff's degrading. I thought that this was just a less good anvil. It's a rusted iron anvil because it got left outside. So your tools rust if you leave them out. That's cool. I like that. Which means I need to put my tools inside. So I'm gonna do that. Once again, this game just keeps impressing me with things that I didn't expect. Like, I didn't expect this game to have degrading materials, but yet it does. Here we are. Melt it down and make a new one? Maybe? Maybe we can repair it? What do you mean, so you won't be playing in it this time? You won't be... Oh, the hot potato? No, I won't be playing in the hot potato this time. I've made the decision that I don't ever want to play RimWorld again. It's not the game, it's me. But I will be doing things with it. Actually, it might just be the game. Saying it's not the game, it's me is maybe not entirely truthful. It's definitely the game, but... Yeah, I do not enjoy playing that game at all. It's called Tier 2 and Tier 3. And for bigger streamers, that's what you do. You know, you do a couple subathons and then you go on vacation. Or you do a subathon and then you go on vacation. You pre-record a bunch of videos and put them all up and... You okay there, Dwarf? Just keep getting up. You saw a dead body. Where? Oh, everybody's dying. Are we out of food? I think we're out of food. I think we're going to try this again, chat. What do you think? Yeah, everybody's dying of starvation. Which is why this guy's freaking out. We ran